Hey everybody, another episode of Just Sports with John, and today we'll be talking a little bit about the NCAA and NBA. First, get right into it. Start with the NCAA and Michigan and Wisconsin. So Juan Howard went off and slapped Joe Krabanoff, the Wisconsin assistant, and I'm not going to sit here and go over the whole video. Go back and watch it. As somebody who's coached, I will say this, that when you're in the coaching line, you're shaking hands, you're saying good job, you move on, and usually if the coaches want to talk, they'll come back together, let their teams go through all that. And this was kind of surprising to me as somebody who's coached and as somebody who's played. It looked like Juan Howard was trying to get through it and move on. And the first problem I had is that even before what all happened with Juan Howard's team pressing and then Greg Gard calling a timeout, like if we just skip to the aftermath here, um, Greg Gard puts his arm around Howard, steps in the way of Juan Howard, and kind of holds him up and starts, trying to talk to him. You can see Juan Howard saying, "Don't touch me." And I'm guessing he's saying, "I don't want to talk to you about it." And then he goes into it and starts going on about it. And then and nobody moves. Nobody gets away from that situation. And so, the punishment comes down. It's 5 games for Howard, which he deserves every bit of that. And you can't have a physical altercation coming from a head coach, no matter what level. That's just not acceptable. So Howard deserves everything he got on that. Um, but only $10,000 fine for Greg Gard. So, these coaches make millions, and you're going to fine a guy 10,000. You're not going to make a statement that don't grab another coach's arm and hold him up to talk to him when you know it was something that was heated between the two teams. I just do not agree with that. I mean, you're not sending a message that coaches shouldn't hold each other up. Just shake hands, give high fives, whatever, and keep moving along. I think Guard should have got only a 1 game suspension, but I think he should have gotten a 1 game suspension. So I think it's a little bit unfair. Again, I don't think the punishment for Howard is unfair at all. I definitely think 5 games. I mean, you could even argue, I wouldn't have been surprised if they cut him out for the Big Ten tourney or at least the first game there. But for Guard not to get anything to me is not right. It just sends a bad message to coaches that they can just grab somebody's arm and hold them up and sit there and try to talk to them when the other coach just lost and doesn't want anything to talk about. So hopefully better sportsmanship will be played between these two if they meet again in the Big Ten and going forward. So there's that. Um, Also wanted to talk a little bit about the top team in the NCAA. Um, it's hard for me to say it's Gonzaga, although they're probably going to have one of the best cracks at it. Kind of like an Auburn a little bit. You always got to be watch out for Duke, especially this being Coach K's final season. Um, Baylor has played a ton of tough teams. They're probably not getting enough credit, although, will they be burned out? Um, I kind of like Auburn a bit right now, although I have to look into it more. But it's probably one of the widest open fields there has been in a long time. Um, and then talking a little bit about the NBA here. Just want to talk about who might be coming off the All Star break. Just want to talk about some of the best teams. Uh, I think in the East, it's really hard to say right now. I think Miami, but they're kind of missing that true in their prime superstar right now. It's going to take a total team effort for that team to get it done. Sort of like the Mavericks when they had Dirk Nowitzki going off, but an older Dirk Nowitzki. That's kind of how I see the Heat right now. Bucks definitely, if they can just keep everybody healthy, get back, probably have the best chance in the East. You definitely can't cut out the 76ers if Harden and Embiid can get it together and play well. Plus, with that team clearing out the Ben Simmons issue, I think they'll be more focused. Um, those are probably the three best in the East right now. Celtics, kind of like the Heat, but those are probably the best teams right now. And then over in the West, I think it's pretty much the top teams you see right now in the standings. I think pretty much the Suns, the Grizzlies, probably even the Suns, Grizzlies. And the Golden State Warriors, I don't think you can count out the Jazz at this point if they can, you know, find themselves a little bit and not have any arguments going on. And I'd give the Nuggets an outside chance, depending on their health and whatnot there. But probably talk a little bit more about some NBA and college going forward. And leave your opinions and comments. Comments are always welcome. So please put those down, folks. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Please make sure you're doing that. And we'll see you guys shortly. And some point down the road here in March, we'll talk about NFL draft and prospects and all that. Take care. Bye.